For refractive index, refractive index of a material, okay, of a prism, okay, refractive index of material prism in terms of angle of the prism and angle of minimum deviation. This is angle of the prism and angle of minimum deviation. You have to obtain an expression. Now, what you have to do is consider the principal section. What is the principal section? Cross section. Consider a principal section of a prism ABC. What is this ABC? ABC is called principal section of the prism. See, I am following according to your method, right? Prism. And BC is the base of the prism, and A is the angle of the prism. Let PQ is the incident ray. PQ is the incident ray. The monochromatic light you take it. This is a monochromatic light. PQ is the incident ray. This is the direction of the incident. If the prism is not there, it would have gone straight. Understood? Now, this is Q is the point of incident. At the point of incident, draw a normal. This will be the angle of incident for the first surface. This is I1. When a light travels from rarer to denser medium, this denser medium is not. It will not go straight. It will bend towards the normal. This is the normal, isn't it? It bent towards the normal. The angle between the normal and this ray. What is this ray? QR is the refracted ray. Right? Refracted ray is called angle of refraction. This is I1, R1 I will write it because refraction takes on the surface AB. Therefore, at the point of incident in a denser medium, again draw another normal. Let the two normal meet at K, the point K. Okay. Now, this is the ray, it is incident in the denser medium. It want to come out, right? It cannot go. See, if it can go if it is a medium is continuous, because there is a discontinuity of the medium. When a light travel from denser to rarer medium, it move away from the normal. Is it not? Away from the normal. Towards the normal means like this, away from the normal. Now, by the principle of reversibility, right? Now, this is an incident ray, this is refracted ray, this is emergent ray. R, S, I write it. R is the emergent ray. Now, by the principle of reversibility, this is, if you tell this is an incident ray, this is angle of incident on the second surface, this incident ray is it not? This is the original direction, right? It would have gone straight. But this is the angle of incident. Then this is refracted ray. This is the emergent ray. This is the incident ray. This is angle of refraction on the second surface. Now, okay, so far. Now, this is point, say, NU something you put it this. Now, this is incident ray. This is angle of refraction. This is angle of deviation in the first surface. Similarly, if you take this is an incident ray, here, the refracted ray, this is angle of deviation in the second surface. Now, what happens? This ray, instead of going like this, it has gone like this. That means this ray now, this is the original direction. It has deviated so much, isn't it? It is deviated. So this angle is same as what? This is D, correct now? Deviation. Understood? See, if I draw this triangle, this is PQ, right? PQ is a incident ray. QR, a refracted ray. RS, emergent ray. See, my handwriting is, I'm not writing correct handwriting, but anyway, that is why. Okay? But in the examination, your handwriting should be proper. Okay? Then what? I1 R1 D1 and I2 R2 D2, right? Or the angles of incident, angle of incident, refraction, incident ray, incidence refracted, and deviation, incidence refracted and deviation ray respectively. I got it. You have to write some sentence, otherwise simply you can't, they won't read all that. Oh, the sentence is there, procedure this, right? Now therefore what is I1? I1 is equal to R1 plus D1, is it not? I1 is equal to R1 plus D1 because vertically opposite angle. Therefore D1 is equal to what? I1 minus R1, isn't it? Similarly other side, what is D2? I2 minus R2. Right? Now what is the total deviation? See, if you take this one, see, I am writing this one. This is N, this is Q, this is R. Understood now? This is D1, this is D2, this is D. You understood now? Exterior angle is equal to sum of interior opposite angle, is it not? Right? This you remember. You need not show in the examination. Just I am telling you here, right, how to do. Exterior angle is equal to sum of interior opposite angle. Therefore, but total deviation, this is what? Total deviation. Total deviation is equal to D, is not? D is equal to D1 plus D2. Is equal to what is D1? I1 minus R1 plus I2 minus R2. That is equal to what? I1 plus I1 minus, I will remove this bracket. I1 plus I2 minus R1 minus R2. Here I am taking common factor. I1 plus I2 minus I will take common factor R1 plus R2 D. This is the total deviation. This is the first equation. Total deviation. Now if you observe this diagram, from this diagram, you write here from this diagram, what is that? A, B, Q, K, R. This is the quadrilateral. See, this is 90 degree because normal. This is also 90 degree normal. Then any quadrilateral, all the sum of the side is 360. Or cyclic quadrilateral they call. Cyclic quadrilateral, why they call 2R? 90 degree. Then the cyclic quadrilateral A, Q, K, R. This is 90, this is 90. 180. Out of 360, 180 has gone. Remaining what? Angle A plus angle K is equal to 180. In a cyclic quadrilateral, see. In a cyclic quadrilateral, what is that? AQKR is equal to, this is 90, leave it off. Angle A plus angle K is equal to 180. Angle A plus angle K is equal to 180 degree. Now you see quadrilateral, what quadrilateral? AQKR, no? AQKR. The quadrilateral. Here now I don't forget this A. Then QKR. What is QKR? Tell now. QKR is triangle. Then what? From triangle QKR. QKR is what? QKR. R1 plus R2 plus K. R1 plus R2 plus K, angle K is equal to 180. If you compare these two, what will get? Angle A plus angle K is equal to R1 plus R2 plus angle K. K get cancelled. Therefore what? Angle A is equal to R1 plus R2, or angle A is equal to what? R1 plus R2. This is second equation. They may ask you obtain an expression for total deviation. That's all they may ask for 3 marks. Up to this you can write it. Relation between this also no. Now this is a 5-mark question. Alright. So I want to tell you the question if you want to write it. See, obtain, they may ask you obtain an expression. See, remember this is a very, very important. Obtain an expression for what is that? Refractive index of a material of the prism. Okay, in terms of angle of the prism, angle of the prism and angle of minimum deviation. This 5-mark question. Can you follow? Either they'll ask you this or they'll ask you the problem also. Now what you have done? You have done up to this CA is equal to this. Now what happens now? Here you see angle of incident 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Angle of incident is you can vary from 10 to 0 to 90 degree. Deviation also changes. Deviation keep changing. There were variation of angle of incident with respect to total deviation.
Drinking water is from the tap only.
See now, you see the thing, total A is equal to T plus R1 plus R2. Now, see, here you are done, variation of title is what? Variation of angle of deviation. Angle of deviation, right? D. With respect to angle of incident. With respect to angle of incidence. I. That means what? This is total deviation. This is angle of incident 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and so on. Right? Variation. You write. See what you observe now here was the angle of incident 10, 20, 30, 40, you know. When it's 10, the deviation is so much. 20, the deviation decreases. 30 decreases. 40, it is keep decreasing like this. It keep decreasing as the I increases. Deviation decreases and reaches the minimum and again increases. How to read this? As I increases, angle of deviation decreases gradually, reaches minimum. What is the minimum? D becomes capital D. D becomes capital D. This is total deviation. No? Total deviation. Then again what? Increases as I increases. See, for every deviation, you take a particular deviation. Angle of incident is equal to this is I1, this is I2. You take anything, here also I1 and I2 it comes. But when D becomes D, I1 equal to I2 equal to I. Right? Therefore, here the sentence you have to write as the angle of incident increases, angle of incident increases, you write in sentence, angle of incident increases from smaller value, the angle of deviation decreases. Angle of deviation decreases and reaches a minimum value. Minimum value D. That is D becomes D. Okay. And again what? Increases as I increases. As I increases, what happens? Deviation gradually decreases and reaches minimum. Again what? D increases as I increase. This word is important. This is called what? Here, if you want, you can write this angle of minimum deviation. In the examination, you can write all that because they'll understand. They don't want you to write a big grammar or sentence and all this. Lot of grammatical thing also you can you can do it. That is not a matter. Whether you understood or not important, right? Here next, what is the condition? Here this is the next. When D becomes D, that is minimum deviation, angle of minimum deviation, right? I1 equal to I2. For every deviation, there are two angle of incidence. This is that I1 is not equal to, this is it. Here I1 is not equal to I2. At this place, I1 equal to I2 equal to. Therefore, what? When D becomes the I1 equal to I2 is equal to I, then that implies what? R1 equal to R2 is equal to R. As a result, what will happen? A is equal to R1 plus R2, no? Therefore, A is equal to R1 plus R2 can be changed as A equal to R1 is R. R2 is also R. Therefore, A is equal to 2R. Therefore, R is equal to A by 2. Understood, no? What happens the total deviation? This is the total deviation. No, total deviation is what? I1 plus I2 minus R1 minus R2. Total deviation is equal to what? I1 plus I2 minus, here A is what? What I write? A is equal to R1 plus R2. Now this is A. What is R1 plus R2? A now I am substituting here. Understood? Actually, I should have done here only. Total deviation is equal to what? I1 plus I2 minus A. This actually you should have written 1. What is the 2? This is 3. Understood now? Got it? No problem. Understood? If you substitute, you will be getting this one. Therefore, what? That only from 2 I am. This is from 3. From 3, you got this. From 2, you got this. D becomes what happened? Capital D. I1 becomes I. I2 also I minus A. Can you follow? Then this is what you bring this side. A plus D is equal to 2I. Therefore, I is equal to A plus D by 2. Now, from Snell's law, refractive index is what? Refractive index sin I by sin R. What is I? Substitute here. R is substitute. Therefore, refractive index is equal to sin A plus D by 2 sin A by 2. Under the condition, what happens? This refractive is not parallel. It is parallel to the base. That condition, what happens? Now, for your for entrance exam or NEET and all that, they'll ask you this. A is the angle of the prism, BC. Then what will happen? This is incident ray, PQ. This is refracted ray, QR. This is parallel to the base. This is RS, emergent ray. And this is also I, I1. This is also I. Both are I. Therefore, R and R same. Therefore, total deviation. Understood? This is D becomes D. You understood? Now, suppose, what are the possibilities? Suppose for CET or NEET exams and all, right? This is the prism, is it not? Right? Now, the ray directly incident, PQ. What happens? It is going straightly, right? Going straight, right? And I1, this is I1 equal to 0, R1 equal to 0, correct? Now at the point of incident, draw a normal. It is such a way that what it is grazing the surface. It is grazing the surface. Now, if it grazing the surface is what this is, I2 is 90 degree, correct? This is critical angle. R2 is critical angle. When it is a critical angle only, this grazes the surface. What is critical angle? Critical angle is what? Angle of incidence is the denser medium for which the refractor ray is 90 degrees, is not. Okay? Refractor. Therefore, what? Now, what is A? A is equal to R1 plus R2, is it not? A is equal to R1 is 0. R2 is what? Critical angle. Therefore, if angle of the prism is critical angle, or if the angle of the critical angle, here what? Total deviation is equal to what? I1 plus I2 minus A, is it not? Then total deviation is equal to I1 is 0, I2 is what? 90 degrees, no? I2 is 90 degree minus A. Therefore, total deviation is equal to 90 minus A, or total deviation is equal to 90 minus critical angle. A is equal to. See, these are the things and all for NEET they'll ask. See, if you have understood this, the theory you will get all that. For NEET, see, the normal ray, this is called normal ray, grazes at the one surface, grazes at the other surface. Then the angle of the prism is critical angle. Or they may ask you this way: if the angle of the prism is critical angle, then what happened to the normal ray? It grazes on the other surface. See how many possibilities they'll ask. And what is the deviation? They may ask, if the ray normally incident and grazes other surface, what is the total deviation? What is the total deviation? This is the total deviation. Total deviation is equal to 90 degree minus C, but refractive index is 1 by sin C, no? Therefore, what? Sin C is equal to 1 by N, or C is equal to sin inverse 1 by C. Therefore, D is equal to 90 minus sin inverse 1 by C. See, these are the 4 choices. 5 questions are NEET there as all possibilities. And this is a 5-mark problem also, which you are going to do in the examination. 5-mark problem this is. For 1 mark they ask. You understand now why the NEET is so tough and all this, no? In this sum itself. But for that you have to be thoroughly you have to sit and do it. Right?